gonna be a Monday night when we live it up. Yeah, it's gonna be a hell of a sight when they're lining up. Tuesday got me singing the blues. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, got me healing up. It's gonna be a Monday night when we liven up. Oh, it's gonna be a hell of a sight when they're lining up. Yeah.
Kia ora rā koutou katoa te iwi whānui, and welcome to the very first broadcast of Monday Night League from North Harbour Stadium. A pleasure to have your company here, and looking forward to a great match, a lineup that has the grand finalists of the Bartercard Cup for 2005 meeting once again in the first encounter for this season. It's the Lions from Auckland up against the Canterbury Bulls. Joining us tonight for the commentary, Tawera Nico and Richie Barnett. Also sideline with Tarahi Maipi. Tēnā koe, Tarahi.
Tēnā koe te ao. E ngā mana, e ngā reo, nau mai ki tēnei hōtaka whakahirahira wātu o te whakataetai Bartercard Cup ki runga I tōna tūranga wai hou. O tira ki runga I a whakaata Māori, te kāinga o te riki o Aotearoa. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this very special presentation, history-making National Rugby League competition, the Bartercard Cup, live, free to air and exclusive on Māori television, the home of New Zealand Rugby League. And joining me sideline with expert comments, former Kiwi captain, league legend, Mr. Richie Barnett. Mate, finally, it's here.
Say some more about me, mate. No, good. It's great to be here and to witness the first game of the year live on Māori television with the grand finalists from last year, Auckland Lions and the Canterbury Bulls. It should be a cracker tonight.
Mate, talk about the format. There's a lot of changes, 10 teams now. Or what do you think of the changed format?
I think it's great. It's just like the Super League years ago. They try to do the formulate a side condensed competition, and I think it's going to be great. You get a better product, and for the players, I think they aspire to higher things, and I'm sure this competition will do the same.
And for yourself, just a quick one, a special night for you, mate. I mean, you've been there, done it all. You come back for the grassroots rugby league.
Well, it's great to give back to the game of rugby league, especially the grassroots. And this competition is new and improved, so I'm looking forward to it. The weather conditions are actually quite good considering what we had in the last 2 days. So looking forward to it. It'll be a good game.
Excellent, mate. No, without a doubt. So over to our league commentators, our main commentators up in the box there. They got the nice cosy one. Dale Husband and former league legend Tawera Nico.
Hey, thanks very much, and kia ora whānau. It's a great pleasure for me to be working with Tawera Nico and Richie Barnett. Looking forward to this match, and really top draw contest between these two fine squads.
Certainly is going to be, Dale, so really looking forward to the contest tonight, and two good teams with two very, very good coaches, so very excited about tonight's match. And mate, Monday Night League, the home of New Zealand Rugby League, very exciting.
Absolutely. Well, talking of great coaches, Bluey McLennan certainly stamped his authority on the international scene with his fantastic win with the Kiwis last year in the Tri-Series. He's been at the helm of the Lions, the renamed, he was with Mount Albert last year, but now the Auckland Lions, and Tata, he might be caught up with Bluey for a few thoughts prior to the game.
Yeah, our preparation's been excellent. Couldn't be happier. We're looking forward to having our first competition game, and who better to play than the Canterbury Bulls. So we're looking forward to it.
I mean, talk to us a little bit about that grand final replay of last year. I know it was a tight game. It went right down to the wire. I mean, how are the boys, is it more of a mental preparation for them coming up against a team like the Bulls?
Well, they're a team that make you prepared at your best, because you know if you turn up and you let your guard down, you're going to get stung. So it's really the good thing about playing a good team like Canterbury Bulls is it makes you aware, gets you a little nervous, and there's nothing wrong with that starting the first game.
Now, talk about your own team for this evening's match. I understand there's 9 or 10 or so changes within your lineup. Is that correct?
Oh, we've got a few changes, and it's due to how people are training, and we have a very strong squad. So we're rewarding good training. We've got a few players that have come out of the Warriors development squad, so it's going to be good to see how they play. So it's a bit of a new side, but in training they've been looking really good.
And just the last question, I mean, for yourself, after the highs of the Kiwis, I mean, how hard was it for you to get back into getting preparation for the Bartercard Cup?
Oh, it was easy actually, because I just love football. I love hanging out with leagueies, and there's nothing better than getting down to a local club and watching a game and hanging out with the good people.
He's certainly got a nice style about him, hasn't he? Brian McLennan, and he matches that up with a skill factor that few can match, both here and overseas. Well, we had a lot of rain in Auckland City during the day, but it looks as though it's cleared up somewhat. Tauruhi, what are the conditions on sideline?
No, too right, Dale. As Richie alluded to a little bit earlier, there was quite a fair bit of rain earlier on this afternoon. It is still greasy underfoot, but it's beautiful. It's nice and warm out here. It's not too cold. There's a slight breeze at easterly, which should favour the team running from the east to the west in the first half. But no, perfect conditions for a game of football tonight. Again, a little bit slippery underfoot, but no doubt they'll be taking that into consideration. But don't go away, folks. It's live, it's free, it's on Māori television, and it's going to be kicking off right after the break. 2006 Bartercard Cup when we come back.
Monday nights when we liven up. Yeah!
Which one of our boys will be next? Ngāti NRL Thursday at 8 on Māori television.
Monday nights when we liven up. Yeah!
Kia ora Nora, and welcome back to North Harbour Stadium for this match. The Canterbury Bulls lining up against the Auckland Lions. Let's have a look at who will represent the Red and Blacks in this match tonight. Well, we start off with Fidel, Metcalf, Aiken, Fraser and Tamakaha. A lot of new names here. 10 players lost from the competition last season. So the coach, Philip Prescott, is bringing in some young guns. Keep an eye out too for Andrew Almatangi. Corey Laurie's an experienced player. Ross Turita shone in the Māori Test match.
Yeah, no, Ross is a very, very good young player, so keep an eye on him. He's plenty tough, very, very strong, good defender, so look forward to him being very excited.
Not only that, we have obviously Johnny Limmer, number 11, coming back from Workington from England. So it's going to be an interesting match. It's going to be a forwards game. The weather conditions will say that.
Keep an eye out too for the number 9, Shane Byers, the former New Zealand Domestic Player of the Year. He had a stint across in Australia. His leadership qualities and experience will be a very telling factor for the fortunes of the Canterbury Bulls tonight, as we see the Auckland Lions making their way out in their new strip. And a new look team, 10 franchise around the country now. We've got new franchise in the Northern Storm, and also the Waitakere Rangers. Will update for you the results of the first round a little bit later or during the game. The Auckland Lions, keep an eye out here for Patrick Arvan. They are talking very highly of this young man, just 18 years of age, and he's got all the skills. And Steve Buckingham in the jersey number 6, he is the consummate standoff, and he too will be the man to lead this Auckland Lions team around the track.
Yeah, no, looks great. And also keep an eye on number 8, Julian O'Neill. A lot of experience. Julian played for St Helens and Widnes, and he returns from the UK with a very, very strong reputation.
And Anthony Swan, no doubt, number 12, an ex-Kiwi, played in number 3 and now is in the second row, and that's possibly the way league's going now, with the centres switching over to the second row.
So Blue and McLennan taking his place in the stand as we await the kick-off, and Craig Pascoe in control of the action here in this history-making first night of Bartercard Cup Rugby League live on Māori television, the home of New Zealand Rugby League. 26 games right through the season, every Monday night. Lock it in here to Māori television and enjoy domestic football at its best. Here we go with a repeat of last year's grand final, the Auckland Lions against the Canterbury Bulls, and we await the kick-off from the number 2, who's celebrating his birthday today. I think that number 2 is Danny Metcalf, getting it underway now for Canterbury. They are playing from west to east here at North Harbour Stadium, which looks in pretty good condition. And keep an eye out for the heavy work from the forwards first up. Canterbury.
Now, if I was the coach, I'd be telling the players to run between players. It's a bit greasy underfoot, and the likelihood of the ball popping out in a tackle would be pretty high tonight.
So now it's Anthony Swan, takes it to the 35 metres and plays it back onto Weatherall. Weatherall turns it through Buckingham, and a little bit of a break immediately there for Anthony Swan, formerly with Marist and Mount Albert. A lot of guys coming back to give service to the local competition. Not surprisingly, Buckingham decides to send it downtown early in the tackle count, and the Canterbury Bulls get the ball and are forced back with some good defence from the Auckland Lions. They'll play at 25 out from the line.
Yeah, certainly Mount Albert started very strongly there, Dale. Good sets and a good kick, and defending very, very well in the Canterbury Bulls 20.
We talk about the kick early, Tawara. We spoke about that last week, about getting to the kick earlier, not waiting till the 5th tackle to kick and put pressure on your team. I would certainly kick the ball a lot earlier in the tackle.
So Lee Weatherall in jersey number 9, that's him in the thick of things, with assistance there from Shannon Stowers. Weatherall from the Howick Club initially here in Tamaki Makaurau, and has of late been with the Northern Blues out of Newcastle, a welcome addition to the Auckland Lions team. Those of you who are living outside the Auckland district, I can tell you that this Lions squad represents a number of central city clubs. With the demise of the Marist Richmond Brothers franchise after last year's Bartercard Cup competition, the reformed Lions include that catchment area, plus the Point Chev squad or club as well. So the Auckland Lions, the Bulls, of course, familiar in this competition. In fact, the Mount Albert Lions and the Bulls have won all of the Bartercard Cup comps since the inception 5 odd years ago.
Yeah, no, they've been very, very strong, both these teams in the past, and look forward to them being strong again this year. Here we see Mount Albert attacking. We'll see what options they've got in this set of 6, Dale.
And I must also apologise, I overlooked the Hibiscus Coast effort too. So many of the Hibiscus Coast players have joined the Northern Storm. We'll tell you about their fortunes in the first round in a moment. This is Paddy Arvan. Now there's big raps on him.
Huge raps on Patrick Arvan. He's got all the skill, no doubt, and it'll be interesting to see how he goes in this game. There we go, out wide, number 11, tackle.
That's Sala Falongo's back from Widnes. Quick play the ball out to Miguel Start. He gets it onto the 7, puts it through. Calvin Wright sitting up in the end goal, in fact, just a little heavy. And the Canterbury Bulls will restart from the 20-metre line.
Yeah, unlucky there, Mount Albert. Sorry, the Lions are putting a bit of pressure on there. Their kick just going a little bit far, but good start from the Lions, and Canterbury under pressure.
Hard work, as we say, to get some of these young blokes working well for the Canterbury Bulls, but Phil Prescott is a very talented coach, a former coach of the New Zealand A team, and fitness is one of the hallmarks of this Canterbury outfit. This is Alex Timor, 28-year-old now. Alex is giving great service to the Canterbury squad. And in saying that too, I'd like to really say a big kia ora and welcome to the viewers in Tuaiponamu, down in the South Island. I know that Canterbury has a very proud tradition and history in rugby league, and the best to all of you who are tuned in today for free-to-air rugby league. It's been 5 odd years, maybe even more, since we've had free-to-air rugby league, so we feel very honoured to be part of a push to do just that on your behalf. So
yeah, we see a bit of a high shot there, Dale, on one of the players in the kick for Canterbury. We'll see what attacking options they have in the half of Mount Albert now, getting down there with some possession.
They're just 5 metres into the half now, and Canterbury set themselves. They play the ball by Timor, worked, and then looking for runners up the middle. Sala Fa'alongo is there to make a good tackle. The assistance downstairs from his second row partner, Swan. And losing the ball there. First,
yeah, bit unlucky there, Dale. I thought young Ross Turi was pushed there. Obviously, Sala Fa'alongo was over in Widnes with Frank Endicott last year, so good to see him back here playing.
But like yourself there, Richie did a stint over there, but come back to God's own in the end, eh?
Well, exactly right. And to jump into competition as such, it's all good for the game and it's good for the players involved.
So the Lions with the ball off the base of the scrum, and tackled with that is David Fisiahi, formerly with Ellerslie. The 24-year-old is replacing his brother Paul, who's gone overseas. This Bartercard Cup has had so many players that have found good fortune by moving overseas, and I think all the coaches realise that it is a bit of a nursery for professional footballers, and many of these guys will go on to contracts both here, overseas and in England. We're just waiting to see who stamps their authority in the early exchanges of the game. Just on 5 minutes have gone as a little break comes the way of Miguel Start. Start still going on the spin. Great run from Start. Eventually he's wrapped up in a tackle of Lee Fidel. And we'll play the ball now about 8 metres out from the try line. Here come the Lions. They are spread deep and wide as it goes to Buckingham. The cutout ball goes wide, picks up Fisiahi, comes back. He tries to free his arms to get the pass away. Trying too hard. The ball goes into the hands of his teammate. The referee says that it wasn't controlled, and eventually Craig Pascoe decides we'll make that a penalty as well. So
yeah, good opportunity, Dale, there for Mount Albert. They got on the outside. The pass had got one more. They probably could have scored in the corner, but great defence from Canterbury. They came up and shut it down.
What we said before with Miguel Start, the Auckland Lions centre, nice work on the right side here. Able to get it inside his man with a right foot step. Plenty strong, this young kid from Pakuranga. He's a player for the future.
As many of these young men are. A little mistake, a knock on in the second play of the set. Shane Byers, the skipper, will be pretty annoyed with that.
Yeah, just struggling, Canterbury, to control the ball at the minute. For just 6 minutes into the game, they've had a couple of knock-ons. Obviously a little bit nervous there, Dale, but it is a bit greasy and slippery out there, and the conditions underfoot are pretty treacherous.
It's great that we've got the game on North Harbour Stadium. There'd be few complaints about the actual playing surface. And to play good football, you need to play on a good track, Richie.
Oh, you certainly do. And when you have conditions as such, you've got to get the ball, you've got to hold the ball. It's security at the end of the day. It's security and get to the kick and a good chase as well.
Well, I'm not one that likes to see big handles placed on young players, but certainly the raps we're hearing about Patrick Alvan and from people who know their rugby league would suggest that this guy's got a big future in the game. We look forward to seeing him in action today. Back up on the inside, the ball comes and then is jarred forward by Julian O'Neill, picked up by Alex Timor. Timor makes good yardage. He's to ground 27 metres out from his own line.
Yes, a lost opportunity from the Mount Albert Lions, or the Auckland Lions, sorry, and they could have held on to that pass. It would have been try time there, Dale.
We get another shot at this. This is Steve Buckingham turning it back on the inside. Julian O'Neill perhaps looking at the man, and he puts the ball down. But as I say, it's great to see him back.
The blue back on.
Now with the Bulls. No scorer in the match so far. We've been going just on 7 minutes of play. Byers to dummy half, 47 metres out from his own line, and he flicks the ball up, but the referee says it's gone forward. So a couple of uncharacteristic mistakes here from the Bulls early on. Yeah,
no, it certainly is. Phil Prescott will be pulling his hair out. They've had a couple of good opportunities in attacking position and knocked on. That's a forward pass there to Alex Timo, so not just timing his run. So something that's going to be very, very tough if they carry on that all night with that.
If you've just tuned in, you're watching the first of Bartercard Cup coverage for 2006 live on Māori Television, the home of New Zealand Rugby League. Quick play the ball now. Here come the Lions, and it's with Shannon Stowers, formerly with the Hibiscus Coast Raiders and Marist, and now with this Auckland Lions setup. Into dummy half comes Wetherill, calls for the quick play the ball, gets hold of it through Calvin Wright. Wright turns it back up on the inside and picks up Fa'alongo. And Sala, in fact, is put to ground now 23 metres out from the try line, and we'll play it just 5 metres in from the northern touchline, the commentary position here at North Harbour Stadium. For, as you can hear from referee Craig Pascoe, as it's played back to Wayne McDade, and now it's on to, is that Arvan, gets it off now to Julian O'Neill. O'Neill keeps the ball hot. Nice play as they cut the line through. Shannon Stowers tries to put it back to Fa'alongo, but the ball hits the deck. And
yes.
Perhaps some early game nerves.
Yeah, certainly is. Mount Albert have had a couple of chances there, Dale. They're just trying to force that last pass. I know they knocked one on there, dropped their pass there, and probably just rushing a little bit initially in this first game.
Pretty professional for Fa'alongo, who's been around for a while. You wouldn't expect him to make those sort of mistakes.
They're certainly tracking up the inside, looking for that pass if they do get the break. Quick play the ball now for the Bulls, and out of the blocks comes Lee Fidal, and he's wrapped up on the 20-metre line. 10 in from the southern touchline here at North Harbour Stadium. That's a good run from the winger. As I say, his birthday today, the 95 kg 20-year-old from Hallswell, Daniel Metcalf. Back up on the inside, they come Alex Timor. He's giving great service. The 28-year-old hits the deck about 5 short of halfway. And the Auckland Lions, through the tackle of Stevie Buckingham, making the play. Here's another tackle from Stowers on the halfway line, with Byers looking for possession of the ball.
Certainly a good set from the forwards and a great kick, so all we need is a good chase on this set down here. It goes into touch, but the winger's flying up. Oh, very, very close here, though.
Well, we'll go back now and pack down the scrum. Craig Pascoe gives the feed to the Auckland Lions. Just looking at the results from the weekend's play. Up north, the Northern Storm played against the Tamaki Leopards. The Northern Storm in the hunt at half-time. The Leopards coming away with it in the second half for a 38-16 win. That being the Tamaki Leopards over the Storm. Harbour League had a hard-fought 12-6 victory over the Waitakere Rangers, and the Rangers being one of the highly fancied squads. They come into West Auckland and will represent that region proudly, I'm sure, too, under coach Bernie Perenara. The Wellington Orcas lined up against the Central Falcons, and those of you with connections to the Manawatu and Palmerston North, that region there, where David Lomax is the coach, will be very pleased to know that they got up on a 41-40 match, so very high scoring encounter, and just a field goal in that result. the other match that was played over the weekend. Tawera Nico's memorised this scoreline. What was that, Tawera?
Oh, no, it was a big game to the Waikato Bay Stallions, 58-16. Lance Ohio scoring 2 tries and 9 penalty conversions. Great work.
I'll tell you what, Waikato are doing well since you've left the team there, Tawera.
Well, it's all their preparation I put them through, but a big shout out to Mal and Hickey. Congratulations, Hick, with the team. But back to the game now. Mount Albert are hot on attack with their defence.
Okay, well now it's with the young winger. This is Metcalf. Metcalf makes it to about 18 metres out from the line, right in front of the posts as they work it close. And that's a good run too, as the Bulls just try and move their way forward.
We talk about completions, and Canterbury didn't do it in the first 5 or 10 minutes. They're starting to do it now, and I think they're taking control of the game right about now.
Yeah, certainly is. I noticed that Canterbury, the Bulls are getting their wingers in. There's little fast, small men around the ruck and making plenty of yardage around there. Dale bigger. Mount Albert, the Lions forwards are struggling a little bit around there.
It's reminiscent of last year's grand final, where the backs came in, alleviated a bit of the pressure from the forwards with their quick steps and their speed around the ruck, and it did work for them last year, and I'm sure it'll be imminent tonight.
Well, it's an absolute must, isn't it? Sometimes the outside players in the back line don't get in enough, and what you're suggesting is just what we need to get in there, take the ball up, take a couple of hits and make like a forward for just a few minutes at a time.
The forwards do all the work, but they're very slow around the field, so it's about time that us quick bucks get in there and amp the game up a bit.
Well, you know, games are always won in the forwards, Richie, and you wouldn't know too much about that, but because you were always at the back having a rest.
So now we come away with the Bulls, still no score in this very tight encounter. It was a nail-biting last-minute effort that got the Lions home last year in the grand final at Ericsson Stadium, and the disappointment on the Canterbury Bulls' face was clear for all to see. They had the game in the bag, they lost it in the very last minute, so they'll be looking to make sure that doesn't happen in this opening match, and another opportunity for the Bulls. 30 metres out, the penalty given. And the referee.
Once again, we see the quick darts from dummy halfdale, quick play the ball. Canterbury are actually winning the rucks in this last. They started a bit slow, but this first last 7 or 8 minutes, they've been on top.
Well, it looks like a little bit of claret there in the mouth of Shane Byers. Let's go sideline with Tarihi. Might be Tofakaro. Tarihi.
Tēnā koe, Dale. We're about 40 minutes into the game, and Canterbury have just made their first substitution with big Vince Whare, reserve prop coming on for Alex Timor. I mean, just an interesting point for me will be the interchange. It will be a bit of a telling factor to see how fit these teams are in round 1. So, yeah, we'll definitely be keeping track of that.
Certainly is big Vince Whare. Very, very strong, very, very agile. Just watch for him close to the line. He can bust through him.
Now it's with Ross Tuddy, who takes the sceptre up as well. Yeah, Vince Whare has seen him come on off the interchange bench many times, and really with telling effect as we see the ball now into Josh Rubin. The young Kaiapoi player takes it to within 10 metres. Best chance that the Canterbury Bulls have had so far in the match as the tackle is made on Johnny Limmer. A busy second rower, but this time the ball is jarred loose in the tackle, and the Auckland Lions survive the onslaught from the Canterbury Bulls and will get to pack the scrum down 10 metres out from their own line.
Yeah, certainly disappointing for the Bulls in great field position there, really looking to have their first attacking shot at the the Auckland Lions, and just really making sure that they control the ball.
Scrum being packed down on the 10-metre line, fed by Stephen Buckingham, who does it at the back of the scrum. Gets it away to the young number 5. This is Malafo Solomona. Now with the Lions changing the angle, Wetherell comes back into the traffic. The tackle is there. So still no score here in this opening match.
Yeah, Canterbury Dale just seem to be picked up again in the last 5 or 6 minutes. You know, their defence, they're coming off the line pretty quick and strong. They're containing Mount Albert. They're up to their 4th, 5th tackle, and they're still inside their own 30. So, you know, doing very well at the moment.
Now it's with Sala Fa'alonga. He's done a couple of fine things early in the game. A good run and a beautiful flick pass out there to Henry Aonga. Sadly for the Auckland Lions, Harry Aonga couldn't hold on as we get a look at the bench. Conditions, well, it's a little bit muggy, to be honest, rather than cold. We had the back of Cyclone.
Yeah, just a replay here, Dale. We see Sala Fa'alonga coming down. Flick a la Matthew Gidley. Number 2, Harry Aonga's off try time there if he can hold on to that football.
Be very disappointed that he didn't catch that ball.
Would have been nice if it stuck as the ball comes out, and then it's down onto Dwayne Winity, the Papa Nui player. Just a little guy, 67 kgs, plays it back onto Corey Laurie. Laurie flicks it onto 17, and that is Vince Whare from Te Pāmu. Little offload, nice ball out wide there, and it picks up Donovan Aitken.
Yeah, another penalty for the Bulls in good field position. Let's see if they can have a very constructive set of 6. What they're going to do, whether they're going to roll one way, hit back down the short side, or use their backs on the open. They've got some really young halves, so it'll be a testing time for these two players to see what they can do.
Canterbury look to be on the benefit of the penalty count at this stage. That was definitely
a one-on-one. It's a play on there, Dave.
Well, Pascoe was in good position, and Anthony Swan, the man who's charged with having tried to nick that football, just as you might have in your career as well, T. The tackle made now on Ross Turi. He gets a quick play of the ball. Byers keeps it hot, gets it on back down to Andrew Omatangi, and the Linwood player is wrapped up 25 metres up from the line. Plays it turned on the inside from Byers. He looks for a runner, and that's effective ground gain. 12 out from the line.
They go right here. They'll score on the right-hand side if they get the ball out there quick enough. They dummy back inside the big Vince Whare. There was space on the outside there, Dale.
The numbers, that ball's gone loose in the tackle, and so the good work that has been done by the Canterbury Bulls quickly undone.
Yeah, it's interesting to note with the Canterbury Bulls, they seem to be targeting the middle, around the ruck, as you'd see there with Whare coming back into the ruck area. I think the joy will be out wide.
Certainly would be, Richie. If I'm the ringer, stood on the outside and there's no one in front of me, mate, I'll be screaming for the ball, saying, I want it, I want it, I want it.
And most of the time, 70% of the time, Tawara, you wouldn't throw it.
Oh, I'd get the ball, mate. White line fever, buddy.
I'd like to say good day to the boys' connections down there in Ohiniwai and up in Ngati Kahu, as we see a nice ball, but an unnecessary offload there. Miguel Stadi had done well, and he tried to get full complement out of it, the run, and popped it on the inside, but ball goes to ground, and a chance really to set up some sort of attack. It goes to ground in the scrum feed now for the Canterbury Bulls. 35 out.
Yeah, Miguel start straight through the goal, tries to offload on the first tackle. That's shocking, mate. That's criminal behaviour.
So from the base of the scrum comes Winity. Winity gets it on and looks for the fullback who comes through. He'll get up and play the ball quickly back onto Tamakaha. Tamakaha angles across, gets away from 1, 2, 3, and then wrapped up eventually in the tackle of Stephen Buckingham. He'll play it back now for Byers. Byers with options left and right, goes right for Johnny Limmer. Limmer peeled back in the tackle of Lee Weatherall with assistance there from Julian O'Neill. Quick play the ball. Vince Whare is there, and this might be the first of the try-scoring action. In fact, it is. The number 6 is in the score. Josh Rubin takes a nice ball off, I think it was Vince Whare, and the Canterbury Bulls draw first blood in the televised match here on Māori television, the home of New Zealand Rugby League, Bartercard Cup, try number 1. And it's Josh Rubin from the Kaiapoi Club for the Canterbury Bulls.
Yes, certainly was a great try there, and we'll see on the replay coming up in a second, but good support play. Vince Whare goes to the line, offloads. Josh Rubin follows the big man through, and he scores right underneath the post. Great work there by Josh Rubin. I talked about the halves earlier, Dale. Two young guys really needing to take control, and as we can see coming up in the replay here, Vince Whare goes to the line, offloads to Corey Laurie offloads to Josh Rubin, and it's try time under the posts.
And that's what we talk about support. That's evident in this passage of play here. When you back up the big men and you hit the holes, and that's exactly what we have seen right here, and that's a beautiful try. Josh Rubin.
Not surprising, the kick from right in front was successful, so we've got a 6-0 scoreline to the Canterbury Bulls as they draw first blood and get us underway scoring-wise on this coverage live on Māori television throughout Aotearoa, and wherever you're watching, I hope you're enjoying live, free-to-air Rugby League on the home of New Zealand Rugby League. Once again, we get a look at Byers, but the defence a little lax.
A little lax there. They didn't come off the line. They were slow. They were waiting for the players instead of moving up, and it's evident there with an easy try. In my mind, I think they should have, the Auckland Lions should have come off their line a lot quicker than they did.
Well, let's see if they can concentrate now, because usually when you score a try, you make a mistake in the first set of 6. Let's see if Canterbury can have a good set, complete, and get down the other side of the field, Dale.
Well, that try took just on 20 minutes to come, and eventually dotted down there by young Josh Rubin, who looks to have a good skill base as well, as we see once again 26-year-old Lee Fidel, who plays the ball, but a little mistake in the play of the ball. Referee pass goes in there again.
As I prophesied, second tackle mistake. This is the biggest pet hate that I have when teams go back. They make a mistake and the the next set of 6, and it's very, very frustrating, especially for the coaches. He'll be pulling his hair out.
Absolutely, Tawara.
So here's the scrum feed. It's Calvin Wright, a player who is very resilient. He played almost every single game last year. He has amazing stats for his turnout for the Lions. Of course, last year it was the Mount Albert Lions. This year, the Auckland Lions. As again, we see Julian O'Neill comes up against a wall of defence. On it comes to Solomona. He can't find his way through. He's to ground under the tackle of Laurie with assistance from Byers. Quick play of the ball back to Wetherill. Works it on to Buckingham. Buckingham looks for Wright. Finds him there. There's a runner on the inside, but Wright won't need him. Cuts them straight through, and he's underneath, or just to the right-hand side of the post. Calvin Wright. Great solo effort.
And we talk about ball players having options from the inside out. That's exactly what Calvin Wright had, and that makes it easy for the playmakers to go through the gap like he did then.
As we see on the replay here, ball comes out, Buckingham on to Wright. Wright dummies on the inside, slices through, straight through the tackle of Ross Turi, just touched them, and he didn't stop.
Number 10, Ross Turi, wouldn't be happy with that. And here you go, Buckingham, who was the try scorer, the top try scorer from last year's competition with 8 from 19 appearances. Coming through the gap here, and that was a poor attempt by Turi.
There's a runner on the inside too if Calvin Wright needed him. As it turns out, he wasn't needed at all. So, formerly from Howick, a long service for Mount Albert, and a great reward for being right where he needed to be at the time. So, this with the conversion should level us up, and that's what we're used to with these two squads who traditionally very close together and right down to the wire most matches that these two squads play. Just awaiting the conversion. Looks
like a bit of Wade McDade in a bit of trouble down there. Very good defender, Wade, very good tackler. He's been playing over in North Sydney, over there with Gary Freeman coaching last year. But Buckingham to take conversion. Mount Albert hits straight back, and this should level the scores up.
So Buckingham steps in for it, no problem from straight in front, and starting to let the ball do a little bit more work, Tauruhi.
Yeah, no, the two tries, especially the one from Canterbury in the first try, excellent hands here considering the amount of drop ball there, but it is showing they're 20 minutes into it. The boys are starting to show a little bit more flow, they're gelling a little bit more, which is probably expected for the first set out, but no, 20 minutes into the game, the boys are starting to look impressive.
Yeah, but McDade got cleaned up by Vince Fuddy on the inside. Good shot by Vince, hitting on suspicion. That's what I used to like doing, hitting the player off the ball.
There's Jim Mather from Māori Television. And it's great to have him here. 26 weeks of football coming your way, live and free to air on Monday Night League here on Māori Television, the home of New Zealand Rugby League. Back it comes now for the Mount Albert Lions. Here's Anthony Swan. Swan angles wrapped up in the tackle of Lowry. Lowry will get up and allow him to play the ball about 32 metres out from the Lions line.
Yeah, Canterbury competing very well this set of 6. Their defence is still coming off the line pretty quickly. They just really want to make sure they have a good set of 6 and keep them down here so they can get the ball back and attack.
So now the Lions with a spring in their step as a result of that try, and Wetherill with the football. He's wrestled to ground, in fact scragged to ground by Johnny Limmer, and assisted there from Laurie. Quick play of the ball, it's on to Calvin Wright, left foots it, showing versatility there with his ambidextrous. I think Calvin Wright can kick with either hand. Great tackle too to follow through with his kick, and the wrap up on Lee Fidel is very good.
Kevin White, what a great tackle there. That's ball and all tackle from a little man too.
Yeah, and he can kick with both hands there, Dale. Good work, buddy.
Excuse me, right, okay, let's go with the feet. Okie dokie now, with the ball to get up and play it as Lucas Tamakaha. Fed on immediately by Wineti, and Wineti gets the ball across to Fraser. Fraser flung to ground though. We get another look at it as well. That's Calvin Wright's tackle. Plenty of commitment for the young halfback.
Yeah, great work. Just over a quarter of the game gone. Canterbury coming back on attack now, Dale, and I think they've moved along quite well. If they can control this set and get a good kick in, they'll put the Auckland Lions under pressure once again.
He's an interesting player. His name is Joseph Pombo. He actually comes from the Magani Club out of Port Moresby, now running with the Canterbury Bulls. Through the hands of Wineti, turns it back on the inside, finds Aimatangi. He gets it back to Fidel, and he's wrestled to the ground under the tackle of Miguel Start. Quick play the ball. They're 30 metres out. The Bulls mounting an attack. In fact, they decide to send it through with Josh Rubin. At the back is Arvan. A little fumble and a stumble, but Arvan, I thought he would recover. The Bulls show good commitment to put him to ground in the in goal, and they'll restart from under the sticks.
As a fullback, they're quite hard to grab, especially in these conditions. It's wet, and a nice grubber rolling over, the ball rolling over. It's pretty difficult to grab.
Well, I didn't think you never dropped many balls down there, Richie. You're always pretty good when you're at fullback, buddy, and down on the wing. So well, you'll know you're making excuses for the fullbacks. But a great kick there, great attacking option from the Canterbury Bulls, and Phil Prescott will be very happy with that set of six. Here they have the Auckland Lions on the ropes, and the drop out another set of six. Let's see if they can score.
You just can't get the Mount Albert out of the account.
No, I've got the Auckland Lions. I'm just so used to seeing those blue and yellow jerseys when we played at Otahu. Here he comes, Richie's brother from Port Moresby.
Mr. Pombo.
Richie Pombo, is that his name?
Jeez, he can play too, I tell you.
All right, fellas, he'll play the ball back. Now it's on to Vincent Fuddy, and Fuddy gets them well positioned, 28 metres out from the line. This is a good darting run from Byers, gutsy run too, because he got a clank in the gob, and now he's there 23 metres out from the try line, gets it set now as he plays it back for Winity. Winity gets it on for Pombo. PNG up the middle, he goes smoking, but he gets knocked down about 12 metres out from the try line. They get themselves set again. It's flicked off through Byers. Byers keeps it hot, gets out to Laurie. Laurie is wrestled to ground. Will he be able to pop the ball? He tries, he sends it backwards. It's picked up on the far side of the field from Metcalf. Metcalf stepping back on the inside. Great tackle in the end, but they're keeping these Lions well and truly under pressure. 10 metres out from the try line now. The ball is played. Now it's worked. It goes up. Are the Bulls there ready to climb? The Bulls, are they there? The ball comes back. Pombo with it. It bounces kindly for the Lions, and they come up with it. And the Bulls' chance to add to the scoreline goes begging as the bomb is unable to be taken. The Lions come away with it to the 25.
Jeez, no, the Lions were very lucky to get away with that. Kevin White jumping up for the ball. He's only about 3 foot. The ball knocks back for Canterbury. And they're on their back foot now.
Yeah, certainly is. The Bulls here missed a golden opportunity there. The kick could have gone across further to the sideline. They would have been in for a try for sure. Here we see the replay. Comes back, bounce back. Pombo tries to push the ball back, but it's pushed out of the way by Miguel Start, and they lose the ball.
There was no doubt that the ball should have gone to the far left-hand corner.
Quick tap, it's taken by Weatherall, and he looks for a runner. Julian O'Neill says, well, I'm back from England and I'm ready to do some work. Although the defence is strong, Pombo does well. And now, hard running, Fabian Suter. He tries to maintain the momentum. 2 gone in the set as they play the ball now about 35 in centre field. Weatherall gets it back now, and he passes it on to Willie Sorensen. And the Mount Albert player is wrapped up about 28 metres out from the try line. Weatherall decides to go from dummy half, gets it on to Suter. Suter is claimed by Pombo. Little toe back, keeping it alive as it goes to Arvan. And the fullback is put to ground about 12 metres out in centre field. Opportunities, both left and right. They decide to go left. It's through Buckingham. Buckingham banana kicks it, turns it back on the inside. The Bulls come after it, will be forced to force it in goal, and they will restart from underneath the posts. Classy play there from Buckingham.
Yeah, certainly was, and Steve Buckingham very, very good at those banana kicks back to the middle of the field and good chasing. Here we see ball goes left to Buckingham, kicks it back right. We've got right chases, kicks it to the right, and right chases just about gets it down, but the fullback for Canterbury Bulls makes it safe.
Calvin Wright keeping busy as the ball is launched about 40-odd metres back. On it comes to Shannon Stowers, who takes it forward boldly. Will play it about 22 metres out from the line. They play it short side, back to Whaolongo. 3 Bulls close them down. 8 metres out from the try line now, right near the northern touchline as it comes through the hands of Wright. Cut out ball, gets it on to Buckingham, turns it back up on the inside. And a hole almost opens up, but then it's closed off by Vince Fuddy and also Shane Byers. Quick play of the ball. Calvin Wright, dangerous from here. He'll try the grubber kick to the end goal. There's nobody home. Calvin Wright puts the chase on, but the ball beats him to the dead ball line.
Yeah, unlucky there for Calvin Wright. They had the right idea, just a bit too much gas on it. And could have been another set of 6, but a good option there from their little halfback, and he's playing very, very well.
So the tap taken by the Bulls. They will be well relieved as they try to probe their way up through the centre, and Scott Hurrell will be put to ground about 10 metres in from the southern touchline here at North Harbour Stadium.
Yeah, just under 10 minutes to half-time. Very, very crucial time in the game, Dale. I think whoever scores next or who can maintain the intensity for the next 10 minutes will go into half-time, obviously, with a lot of confidence.
It's a vulnerable time for all football teams, Richie Barnett.
Oh, absolutely. 10 minutes to go. You want to get the kick down and you want to get a good chase and put the pressure back on the Lions.
Patrick Arvan takes the ball, looking for a bit of a hole. He was well wrapped up by Corey Laurie. The Hornby player puts him to ground as the Lions play the ball about 35 in centre field.
Yeah, very impressed with Shane Byers, the number 9 for Canterbury. Had a really great game, strong in attack, strong in defence, some good defence there, scooting hard runs out of dummy half. Been very, very exciting. Number 9 there, Shane Byers for the Canterbury.
Yeah, he's a terrific player, and as I mentioned at the start of our broadcast, the New Zealand Domestic Player of the Year a couple of seasons ago went over and had a stint in Oz. But, you know, there's a lot to like about Aotearoa, New Zealand, and so I don't blame guys who decide to come home even though they've had a stint playing footy overseas. The ball's still alive through the Lions. Too close to the line, though, but it's popped back and onto Fisiahi, still alive with Buckingham. Buckingham looks up the middle, and all he can see is a wall of red and black. They put him to ground on the 5th and final tackle now. 22 out from the line. Flicked up, it comes onto Calvin Wright. Wright puts it to the air. And a little bit of protection there. Nice work from the halfback at the back there, Winity, who offers his winger a little bit of protection out wide.
Yeah, no, great kick there, great chase him. And now the Auckland Lions have them down on their own quarter, and a bit overzealous play there from the number 10, the big prop for the Auckland Lions.
A little overzealous.
Overzealous, you know, a bit rough and tumble. You can't use those words that we used to use, Richie, like, well, I can't say them all.
You can't say.
Well, I mean, that was a good kick and a good chase, but from Lucas Tamakaha, he took that very nicely, but the support that was around him was the key.
Yeah, I like the look of this young Lucas Tamakaha. He's been running with Papa Nui in the Canterbury comp, but he's actually from the West Coast. And welcome to all our staunch leagueies watching in the West Coast of the South Island. His Byers have just been giving him raps, and he picks up some more valuable metres for his coach, Phil Prescott, in saying that Brent Stewart, former Kiwi international, you guys would have had a lot to do with Brent over the years. He's also helping Phil, as is David Perkins. So sometimes it's a little amiss of us in the commentary booth to not acknowledge as well as we might the assistant coaches.
Number 3, the centre makes the bust up the middle, Dale.
Yeah, he'll play the ball now. This is Donovan Aitken, and back up on the inside picks up Scotty Harrell. Harrell puts the chip and chase on, and he does very well, forcing Arvan back into the in goal, and that is wonderful effort by the reserve Harrell.
I'll tell you what's prominent from the Canterbury Bulls is that they're using their small men to weave around. Obviously, the Auckland Lions are quite a big team, and they're using, obviously, their skill and their small men to get around, and with a quick play of the ball, they're doing very well.
Well, there was, you know, tough work on Patrick Arvan here. Not much he could have done about that. What have you thought as an international fullback yourself, Rich, about what you've seen from the young man so far?
Well, he's made a mistake in the first time he grabbed the ball. He's done a few good things down here in attack, and it's probably too early to say, really.
Tēnā koe, fair call. Here we go now with the run across field from the Canterbury Bulls. They've had most of the possession in the last little while. They're 20 metres out from the try line as Byers works it on to Pombo. He can't make it through, though, because the Lions' defence is there to close him down. 15 out from the try line now with Byers as he turns it on, finds big Vince Whare.
They go to the right here, Dale. There's numbers on the outside. They'll score on the right-hand side of Mount Albert. Let's see what's happening. No, they're back straight up the middle again, and they lose the ball.
It was a big call, I was just about to say, Tawada, because while they did have the overlap, a couple of times they've opted to send it back on the inside as they did then. But certainly the back line looks well set to take advantage if they get themselves in that position again soon.
Obviously, they've done their homework and they think the defence, especially the Auckland Lions, are lacking in that department. So they're targeting coming back on an angle and see if they can get these big guys who are slow.
Tarahi, you had a good look at that too. They had the numbers on the right-hand side, opted to go back up the middle.
E tika hoki tau, Dale, ko te ahuana, ko te mahere rautaki o te kapa o tautahi, kia patua ki Wanganui te whira. Engari ko te kapa raiona, ko te taha matau, me tēnei tangata Miguel Starr, ahakoa ruarua noi ho ngā wākua rapu i e te Paoro, katahi rā te tangata mōrearea ko tērā.
Limmer plays the ball. He gets it on to the replacement Dean Hickey from Linwood. He will play the ball back now as it comes on to Byers. Byers keeps it alive with Ruben. Ruben's already shown his class. Winity is tackled about 6 metres to the right-hand side of the post and 5 out from the try line. The Bulls mounting sustained waves of attack as it comes through Laurie. Laurie gets the ball jarred loose and the Lions come up with it. Well, a big chance for the Canterbury Bulls. They weren't able to capitalise on it.
Yeah, no, very poor option there. Dale, third tackle, he tried to put the kick through. Opportunity was there, but it was a bit misdirected and trying to kick through in traffic. As we see here, Corey Laurie goes to the line, puts a boot off. Faulonga stops it with his foot. And whether he knocks it on, I'm not too sure. There's something going on. The linesman's coming. He obviously wants to get on television tonight too.
So it looks to be an injury to Corey Laurie. It's Calvin Wright chatting at the moment with Shane Byers.
He's been very creative, Shane Byers, in the ruck. Just like George Gatus was for the Auckland Warriors. He was instrumental at getting that win. Maybe Shane Byers will do the same thing.
We'll have a listen to the referee here.
It's Corey Laurie, a bit of claret flowing there, nothing wrong with that. A few stitches in there, mate, you'll be right. Put a bit of plaster on it. She'll be fine, mate.
Let's have a listen to what the ref's saying to our players.
Yeah, you'd see backs, that'd be on a stretcher, Richie. If backs had a cut, that'd be...
Steve, off you go, Salah. Steve, listen. No, listen. I've listened. Listen. Your turn to listen. You just get the discipline back with your boys and we'll be fine. Let's go.
Oh, there we go. Obviously some indiscipline going on the sideline there. Maybe a straight punch thrown. And the Auckland Lions penalised by a referee.
Well, we saw a match
Pascoe
between the Waitakere Rangers, which I think is quite an apt name, and their opponents during the weekend with Harbour League. Well, that was just a 12-6 scoreline. So I know that teams are keen to go on with it and to rack up as many points as they can, but in tight encounters, these 2 points worth taking every time, Rich.
Absolutely, and I think you should take the 2 points. There we go.
Here we go.
So we get a look here.
Salah Faulonga, what does he do here? He's getting up to play the ball, kicks him. Oh, he just gives him a little backhander, sorry. Backhander across the eye there.
Well,
and
it's rugby league, we're only a little bit of a slap. Crikey.
A bit of a slap, you reckon, Tawara?
A bit of a slap there, bit of backhander.
I'll tell you what, this new and improved rugby league stuff, I mean, a little bit of a backhander. And you get penalised for it.
Oh, well, he's just missed a kick there.
I got my whole face crumbled and I didn't get penalised for it.
It's come good now, Rich. It's come good, mate. You're looking good. Righto, let's get back into the action here as we see now the Lions moving out into the 15 metres. Make that 20. Good run from them. Getting away. That's Fabian Suter. Quick to play the ball and responding well to is Sione Poha. And the roll-on will continue here for the Lions, who will gain easy meterage.
Certainly was 3 minutes before half-time. We'll see what happens. Buckingham puts the ball... Oh, no, it doesn't go into touch, does it?
Or will it? It's rolling end on end and will sit up in the end goal.
Oh, he has to get out of there. What's going on there? All he needs to do is run over the touch. Oh.
He did well to get out of there. Lee Fidalin will play the ball a couple of metres inside the field of play. 6-6 the scoreline. One try each. Try scored in the 19th minute. That was by the number 6, Josh Rubin, for the Bulls, and corresponded by Calvin Wright a few moments later. 6-6, the scoreline here in this first match, live on Māori television, the home of New Zealand
League.
Tell you
what, Bluey would be pulling his hair out. I mean, sorry, he hasn't got any, but he'd be pulling his hair out with not getting that ball out. With 4 minutes to go, you'd think you'd get the clean ball out and strike again.
Downtown it decides, or the Bulls decide to go. The bounce important. It eludes initially Harry Onga, who eventually picks it up. Pombo's there to sort him out, and so's Dean Hickey, and they make the tackle well. There's the coaching staff for the Auckland Lions. Quick play the ball. Dummy half is Calvin Wright. He won't get through this time, and is wrapped up in the enthusiastic tackle of Clinton Fraser with Metcalf. Now up the middle, that's a good run, but the ball is jarred loose, and now the Bulls come up with it through Metcalf.
Yeah, they'll get another set of 6 on this tackle as the Bulls and see what they can do. They just want to put the ball down the end and play the half out or kick it out just to eat up a bit of time. Let's see if they can get to the half with a 6 or draw. They'll be happy.
So Lee plays it back. On it comes out to Byers. Byers finds Heke, and the Linwood big man plays it about 8 metres short of halfway. looking for runners. And a willing worker puts his hand up, taking it forward before he'd been wrapped up in the tackle of Sorensen. Back again. Short side they come this time. Pombo, the Papua New Guinean player, is peeled back in the tackle by Fa'alongo. He'll play it now, 38 metres out from the try line. Short side they continue again. The chip over the back. Alvan's well positioned. Takes it on his 10-metre line. And now he's up to the 20. Good run, centre field. Will play the ball about 25. And options left or right. Off the left-hand wing comes Solomona from the dynasty of Auckland Rugby League, or the family dynasty through the Auckland Rugby League club scene. On to Fa'alongo, gets around one, can't get over the tackle though, the halfback. Winati needs to ground a couple of metres inside the half.
Yeah, very impressed with Fa'alongo in this half. He's played very, very well for the Auckland Lions, got a lot of skill and ability. As we can see, can offload, can go to the line, and also a very good defender.
With a play like that, you want to get people backing him up on his inside and his outside. For a guy like that can promote the ball and do his magic with his right-hand passes, get people around him.
If I was Patrick Arvan, I'd be skirting right around his his hips, mate, just looking for that offload.
Fifth and final tackle, they were forced to put the ball high, and it was taken well under pressure in the end by the Bulls as we count down towards the half-time hooter. It's been an interesting half, a few opportunities, but we must give some credit to these teams. It's their first hit out for 2006, and indeed for many of them the first time they would have played a competition match on a Monday night. In saying that, we must acknowledge the willingness of the Canterbury Union. A lot of these guys have to get back to work tomorrow, but to travel today, play tonight, get back on the first flight tomorrow to get back to work, well, we appreciate that it is a little different, somewhat unusual, but hopefully it allows more people around the country to enjoy the skills and talent of these players in the Bartercard Cup throughout this year. On it comes now to Ruben. He decides to put the kick in over the back, but it finds its way into touch about 25 metres out from the Lions line. And it looks like with their scrum feed and with the clock counting down fairly rapidly, we will probably go to the split with a 6-all scoreline. Just 2 tries scored in the first 40 minutes here at North Harbour Stadium in the first broadcast of Bartercard Cup on Māori television, the home of New Zealand Rugby League. Try scored in the 19th minute to Josh Rubin from Canterbury after getting a good inside ball off Corey Laurie. And then a few moments later, Kelvin Wright, the talented young halfback for the Auckland Lions, crossed over, and that try was converted from in front of the post by Steve Buckingham. And we come after 40 minutes, the first half of action here in Bartercard Cup, round 1, live on Māori television from North Harbour Stadium. It's 6-all, the Bulls and the Lions.
Monday night when we liven up, yeah. Monday night when we liven up, yeah.
And welcome back to North Harbour Stadium. 6-all the scoreline between the Bulls and the Lions after 40 minutes of action here in this round 1 match from Bartercard 2006. As you can see, not much to delight in the scoring department, but really, Tawara Nico, this is just a feeling out stage, isn't it? First game of the year, first hit out for the boys, and I think we can expect a little tighter football and perhaps a little bit of more imaginative attack in the second half.
Yeah, it certainly was, Dale. You know, it's just one of those games where they're a little bit nervous, both feeling their way, a bit of a blowout after the season. I know a couple of them would have played some warm-up matches, but all in all, I thought it was a pretty good half. You know, I think Mount Albert started very strongly. The Bulls came back and sort of got control. Now we're looking at the first try here. Big Vince Fadia goes to the line, Corey Lawrence, and number 6, Josh Rubin, right underneath the post. Just some basic football of taking the ball to the line, offloading and support, as we saw there. And it's been the little men who have been very instrumental in the first half.
We talk about Canterbury pushing up in the line. Obviously, the Auckland Lions didn't push up, get off the line quick enough. There you go, straight through the gap. And I just think those tries have come from just holding back on your line instead of coming up and putting pressure on the ball players.
Yeah, that certainly is right, Richie. You know all about holding back on the line because you used to stand there all the time. But good work from little number Calvin Wright. You know, went to the line a couple of times. He's put a couple of little kicks through, and as I said before, I think it's been a game of the little men. Number 9, very impressed with the number 9 Shane Byers from the Bulls, and also their 6 and 7, 2 small blokes, Josh Rubin and Dwayne Winity, done very well for the Bulls also, Dale.
So the score now 6-all, the scoreline between Auckland and Canterbury. We're looking for some more action in the second half. Glad you can join us for Monday Night League on Māori Television. The home of New Zealand Rugby League. We'll be back in a moment for all the action, all the drama of the second half.
Monday night when we live it up. Yeah. Monday night when we live it up. Yeah.
Kia ora, welcome back. Glad to be in your house this Monday evening with live rugby league action from the bartercard from North Harbour Stadium. Locked at 6-all after 40 minutes. Tarahi Maipi's been watching the action. We're expecting a little bit of raising of the standard in the second 40. What's your thoughts, Tarahi?
Tika hoki tau, Dale. Kātahira te pakanga nui whakaharahara I Wainganui iwe nei kapa anai. Ki te ana I runga I te tatau ono, ki te ono. I mean, tight battle, as expected, between these two teams. The grand finals from last year, 6-all. Conditions here on the ground, the wind has kind of picked up. It is still blowing in the same direction, so we'll be favouring the Canterbury Bulls in the second half. So no doubt look for a few more kicks in deep from the hooker chain bias. I mean, my thoughts on the game, again, agreeing with the boys that the dummy half work for the Canterbury Bulls was excellent, and but no doubt both coaches will be looking for better ball retention.
Thanks very much, Te Arahi, and 6-all the scoreline. A couple of players to keep an eye out for, Byers and Whaalongo, two of the best that have been on show so far. Quickly through the results again from Bartercard Cup round 1. The Leopards got up over the Storm. The Harbour League beating the Rangers. The Orcas from Wellington going down to the Falcons by 1 point. And the Waikato-based Stallions with a big win over the county's Manukau Jets. There are 10 teams in the Bartercard Cup competition. The last 2 of week 1 are on show in your lounge live from North Harbour Stadium as we get the action underway, and it is Mount Albert running from right to left from our commentary position, and that is from east to west.
Yeah, certainly a good half, and just to make a mention of the referee, Craig Pascoe, thought he had a very, very good half, and there not too many penalties, very, very consistent, good 10 yards, and also very consistent, as I said before.
As a coach, what would you be saying to the teams now? Completions.
Certainly would be, Richie. That's the main thing. If you control the ball, you control the ball game. So both coaches would have had a really good talk to their players. I know Phil Prescott will be saying to his players, more the same. Let's quick runs out of dummy half and a good kicking game.
But impressed by Pombo, the Papua New Guinean player who's come off the bench. He's run strongly when he's got hold of the ball, hard and straight, and that's really what's needed at the moment. Now, this is great defence by the Bulls.
Certainly a great start, Dale. You know, they had it 5, good kick in the corner. Patrick Arvan stuck 5 metres off his line. Now let's make sure that they can keep them down there. That's 2 tackles, 2 yards off their line.
Shirley Pohara up to play the ball back now as he gets it on now to Harry Aonga. Aonga comes up, and there are the Bulls there in numbers with the tackle made by Johnny Limmer. They'll play the ball about 12 metres out from their own line as the Lions try to work it out through Julian O'Neill.
Yeah, certainly is. The speed of their line has been very, very good, the Bulls all night, and they're still involved there. The Auckland Lions seem a bit disjointed just after half-time. We'll see how they go in the next 5 to 10 minutes, Richie.
Certainly in this circumstance, you should
Let's have a look at this, these runs from Whaalonga. He was one of the powerhouses from the first half, and the United video player profile feature on Sala Whaalonga did some fine work, and both in defence and attack. One to watch out for in this second 40.
Yeah, and for the Canterbury Bulls, there's Sala Whaalonga. As I said in the first half, I predicted it. I'm a bit of a
genie.
Yeah, I can see the future.
Aye.
So yeah, played very, very well. The United video player profiles on Sala Whaalonga.
Thank you very much, Tawana. This now is our PNG mate who gets up to play the ball. Joseph Pombo. Now it comes back and it's on with Ruben. Ruben turns it on the inside and gets on to Corey Laurie. Laurie back to Johnny Limmer. Limmer for the line. Referee Craig Pascoe will check with his touch judges. There's a little bit of confusion there. He is checking with the touch judge in the northern side, says that's okay by me. Johnny Limmer is in for try number 2 for the Canterbury Bulls.
Oh, sensational try there, Dale. Fantastic work. Went through about 6 pairs of hands. Drop off on the inside, back in the middle, back on the outside again, and Limmer scores just beside the post. Here we go. Have a look at it here. Out to the young halfback dummies, inside into 11. Corey Laurie back offloads back to Limmer on the outside and scores. What a great try.
It's good work from the back rowers. It's nice to see them connect with each other. And here you go on the inside ball. As we said before in the first half, they're trying to go back on the line of the Lions. and they're certainly doing that, and it's paying dividends.
Certainly was. Phil Prescott must have identified some weakness in the Auckland Lions defence around the ruck, so they're targeting that area very, very well.
He's a very smart man, the old Philip Prescott. He's obviously studied the tapes and witnessed probably a very slow forward pack. And there you go, back in the inside ball to Johnny Limmer.
Limmer onto Laurie. Laurie goes to the line, bang, through the tackle of Buckingham, stands one-handed. Oh, great ball there. Limmer back in the support again. Fends off Patrick Arvan, scoots in under the tackle to score there. Fantastic work. That's a great start. That's exactly what you'd want from your team straight after half-time, Dale.
Okie dokie, we're out now to 12 points to 6 in favour of the Bulls over the Lions. Great run again by Pumbor, and he goes strongly forward, flicks it out the back door. There's Byers. He says, thanks very much. Straightens the attack. O'Neill to go. Here we have another look at Shane Byers, the skipper of the Canterbury Bulls, one of their most experienced players. And this is the United video player profile. Shane Byers.
Yes, he's been very prolific in the first half. Great tackling there. The small bloke. He's quick out of dummy half. Scoots, offloads, quick play the ball. And he doesn't take anything from anybody else. A little man with the little man syndrome, but, mate, he's very, very quick out of dummy half. Some quick runs out of there, and he's got a pretty good kicking game too.
Shane Byers, 92 kg, I suppose. He gets around the field well as that kick is put downtown. Patrick Arvan slips on the surface. He hasn't done a lot wrong, but he's had a lot go right for him either.
Yeah, he's had a lot of problem with his I think his footwear, I'd say. I think he needs to get bigger sprig.
Certainly does, Richie. I think a lot of players these days wear boots just for the look of them. They all got white, they got red, they got all sorts, mate. When we were playing, we used to play with nails in the bottom of our boots, buddy.
Actually, you might have got a few of those in your head by the sounds of it.
Up the middle we come now with the Lions, and through Julian O'Neill. Gets a little bit of real estate. Grabs 4 or 5 metres and will play at about 38 in centre field. And it comes now to Buckingham, turns it back on the inside. That's a bit of angled run from the Lions. Back on the inside they come, but the Bulls come up with it again.
Yes, Phil Prescott will be very happy with this. Great defence. The Bulls have got them in attacking position again. Let's see what they can do in this set of the 6. If I was Phil Prescott, I'll be getting his halves to really hammer the nail in the coffin.
Well, here's Bumbo. I mean, he seems to be hitting up more regularly than most others on the track, and sadly for his team, a little knock on as he just got up to play the ball and put it down, so that's a little bit disappointing.
I'd be worried about trying to promote the ball in your own half. Fabian Suter, in that instance, trying to promote the ball in two-men tackle, I would assume that you'd probably get to the kick, play safe football, especially in your own half.
Yeah, certainly would, Richie, but great to be here on Māori Television, the home of New Zealand Rugby League. Monday Night League, live and exclusive on Māori Television.
You like saying that, don't you, Tauda?
Yeah, certainly do. Well, here's the replay of the United video replay. Here we have Dale coming up. Pombo goes to the line.
He's been good tonight, actually, the Pombo, my brother. He's been outstanding.
Oh, that should have been a penalty. He popped the ball out there over the top, old Bucks. So he got away with that one.
Well, trickery's part of the game as well as Buckingham feeds for the Lions. Down by 1 try. Getting it out to Patrick Arvan. He's tackled it by us opposite Lee Fidel. We'll play the ball back quickly onto Aonga. In fact, it's not. It's Miguel Start. Start is stopped about 10 short of the halfway. As we can see, a few problems there for Byers, and they can't afford really to lose him as the Lions make space down the right-hand flank. And who is it? None other than Salah Fa'alonga once again. The former witness player goes through Calvin Wright, keeps it alive for Buckingham. Here's Arvan from the back. Arvan looking for a way through the middle. Referee says, no way we attend, fellas. Penalty coming 20 metres out from the try line, right in front of the post. Buckingham says we want the points. Forget about the 2. On it comes wide out to Suter. Suter alive for Fa'alonga. Pops the ball out the back door and it ends up running out the gate, down the drive and halfway down the street. Nobody picks up the football.
Mate, those are coach killers. Those first tackle, attacking on the sideline. Fa'alonga offloads the ball. Great skills. He beats him on the outside. Just wants to do the a la Matthew Gidley. And it goes over the sideline. Richie, what would you be doing there, mate?
Well, I think the Lions' backs were up too flat. They didn't give him enough room. They weren't deep enough. And I think there you go. End result. He throws the ball and these guys are too far in front of them.
Nice to see the analysis of both attack and defence, because in order for a good attack to come through, there's got to be some haphazard defence. And that's the beautiful thing about our game, the balance. Slight mistakes can be very costly in this game of rugby league as fullback Fidau gets up to play the ball back. It's fed on now for Lima. Lima gets it up there now, and it's on to, I think that's Tamakaha, who's wrapped up and tackled about 25 metres out from the line.
Yeah, no, great work. Canterbury coming out of their own half. Let's see if that's the last tackle, if they can get to the kick here, Dale, and a good kick chase. They've been kicking down this right-hand side. They opt to go to the left this time, and Arvan gets the ball about 30 metres out from his own line.
Tell you what, if I was Patrick Arvan, I'd be following Fa'alogo every minute he gets that ball.
Yeah, well, it's certainly Sala Fa'alogo has been the man who's been busting the line, hasn't he? He's looked the most likely, put it that way, Rich. And I do take your point and would agree, too, that if Patrick Arvan shadows him, then there's a chance of getting an inside ball or certainly to capitalise on the inroads being made by Fa'alogo. Across it comes now, and it's on to Julian O'Neill. O'Neill on to right. Right scans across the park, looking to link up with somebody who can take it forward. And this time, that man gets up to play it back. It is Anthony Swan. On it comes now again. It's on for right. Right turns it back up on the inside. I don't know if that's the best way to go. Occasionally, I think, Tawada, you were saying that they're looking good wide, but they tend to steer it back up on the inside. Problems there between O'Neill and Ross Turi. Back it comes for Buckingham. Buckingham says, well, we've had little joy elsewhere. Let's go to the air. Fa'alogo is there, picks it out from the air, tries to pass the ball on. It comes back for Buckingham. How's the referee seen it?
Play on.
He says play on. Here's a big chance now for the Lions.
They move to the right-hand side, Dale. They'll score here.
Numbers there. They went to the left instead, and it's with Willie Sorensen. He can't get it through, wrapped up in the tackle of
Still
Turi.
on the right-hand side there, Dale. If they can move the ball quickly to the right-hand side, they'll score try in the far corner. Let's see what they do.
Let's see how they go. Buckingham reads it. Kelvin Wright does. They send it on the inside for Arvan, and again, they leave an unmarked back line waiting for the ball and not getting it as the fumble is made and the Bulls capitalise on it. So again, a chance for the Lions that they haven't taken.
Yeah, just a poor option there, I thought, by the halves. They could have gone wide there. Sala Fa'alogo standing out wide, and he beats his man every time. So I can't understand why they can't get the ball out to him, because he's the man to be making the big break.
He's the man of the day, all right. This is where we get another look. I mean, Richie, talk us through this.
Well,
we've got 4 on 2 out there.
Why would you come back up on the inside?
Yeah.
Do you put the onus on the halfback or the 5'8" for not going wide? There's obviously calls from the inside to get that ball. Good work there. But I would put the onus on the 7 and 6. Get the ball out wide. That's where they're most potent.
That's 3 or 4 times now. Tawad has mentioned that they had the numbers right. 3 or 4 times now they've turned it back up on the inside. So really they're the architects of their own fate at the moment.
Yes, certainly has. And another mistake by Maunel, but they won't be very happy with that. And so won't their coach, Blue McLennan. Sorry, by Auckland Lions. Are getting the blue and yellow, mate. I've seen it many times before. But silly mistake there by the Auckland Lions, and another attacking opportunity for the Canterbury Bulls.
You might have seen the blue and the yellow before, but what you haven't seen are the Māori television strips on the sleeves for all the teams in Bartercard Cup for this year. Nice little run here for Lucas Tamakaha. He's to ground now, 30 metres out from the try line. We'll play it 10 to the right-hand side of the post. There's no numbers wrap around with Corey Laurie. He gets it on to Ross Turi, who will play the ball 25 out from the line. Quick play the ball out for Donovan Aitken. Aitken comes out, finds Lee Fidau once again. He's wrapped up about 18 metres out in centre field. There are options sitting there for Johnny Limmer, who slides into dummy half. They go to the left. Cut out ball out wide from the number 17, Whare, who gets it on out there to Clinton Fraser. Fraser's wrapped up about 8 metres out from the line. And 10 to the left-hand side of the post. Back up on the inside they come. This is Alex Timor. Timor is wrapped up in the tackle of his number 8 opposite Julian O'Neill on the 5th and final tackle now with the Bulls. Will they run it? Will they kick it? Vince Whare is closed down in a fine tackle by Fabian Suter. A try-saving tackle, and the turnover results.
Yeah, certainly was. Canterbury tried to go back up the middle of the again, and they chanced it on their last tackle to run it, and big Vince Whare tackled. And now a big let off for them with a penalty over there. A good option to run on the last tackle. It's not always good to kick. And Canterbury trying to play around their strengths and play around the middle of the ruck, though.
12-6 the scoreline. Still 2 tries to 1 here on Māori television, the home of New Zealand Rugby League. As Steve Buckingham kicks for the line. We're counting down at the moment. It's 27... Nearly just under 28 minutes left to play in this opening round match of Bartercard 2006.
Well, Julie O'Neill's been pretty good tonight. He come back from St Helens and Widnes. He's been pretty strong. He's a big man, 6'4", 110 kilos.
I was impressed by him when he was running around in New Zealand. Did you see much of him over in Britain while you were playing there, Rich?
Certainly did. He was instrumental in St Helens wins. He's a big man.
You weren't even playing him. Did you play against him, Richie?
I did, yeah.
Did you? Oh, that's good.
How many years would he have been over there, Richie?
Probably about 5 or 6 years.
Break on the outside. Here comes Miguel Start, and he's got a flying start. Miguel, the step. 1 and 2. Buckle my shoe. He's in underneath the post or thereabouts. Anyway, Miguel Start. That's the way to answer. That's the way to come back. And he really made the play himself. The ball got wide, and he's just shown a great turn of speed, and that'll level the scoreline with this kick to come.
Yeah, certainly was, and a great work there by Miguel Start, and he got off to a flying start, though, as we'll see. He got off to a flying start here, and as we can see on the play, come up, the ball goes wide. The first time they shifted it wide, and what happens? Goes up, misses far long, or still offloads the ball to Start, fends off the winger, and he's away. You're not going to catch him from there, and he does a bit of a Richie Starter step. And great step there, and a big fend on him. Put him underneath the post. Great work.
So what a step. There you go. What a great left-hand fend. And he's got a bit of pace, the big fella. He's young. He's from the Pukaranga Rugby League Club. There's big raps on the big man. And look at that. He does another step and brushes aside another player.
You know, when you're playing under the New Zealand coach, everything you do, you want to be good. And, you know, he must obviously rate himself, because he could have gone for the corner, couldn't he, Tawara? But he stepped back on the inside, chanced his hand with a very good sidestep. Full of confidence, Miguel Start, and a fine opening effort for 2006 with his first try in the Auckland Lions colours.
Bit of Benji Marshall step there, Richie, eh?
Yeah, bit of touch moves there, mate, bit of touch. And that was no touch about it. Left-hand fend again. A big one at that too.
He enjoyed that too, and so he really he had to beat 2 players, but he beat them convincingly.
He certainly did, Dale. It's great to see Mount Albert move the ball out to their wingers, and hopefully they'll get it out to the centres and the wingers. And
we're
see
talking about the right side too, Tawara. The right side, that's where they're most potent, and they haven't yet got it out there, and they did this time, and they reap the rewards.
Well, let's see if they can have a good set of 6 here, have a great kick, and keep the pressure back on the Bulls down in their own quarter.
Okay, let's get the big man wound up as Julian O'Neill takes it forward for the first run. Then it comes out to, I think that's Solomona. Solomona gets tackled, and the referee says, hey, too many hands in there, fellas. The Bulls will be penalised. 22 metres out from the Lions line.
Yeah, and that's a big let off for the Auckland Lions there. Penalty in the second tackle. Steve Bucking will put the ball out, and the Mount Albert Lions will be on attack.
How many times has this happened? How many times has that happened with the Lions? Getting easy penalties, easy yards, and they get out of trouble.
There we go. Have a look at the action. Does he lose the ball? Is there too many hands? And let you be the judge. Oh, there we go. I think he lost the ball.
Certainly lost the ball. Ball security, a big thing in this game.
12-12 the scoreline here. They are locked up as Buckingham feeds the ball onto O'Neill, but then it's jarred out of his hands, and the Bulls come up with it about 30 metres out from their own line.
Yes, second tackle, lost the ball again. Has been shocking for ball handling. I'm sure the coaches will be very frustrated about that, Richie.
Well, do you put it down to the conditions on the field? It is dewy out there.
Oh, come on now. It's not that bad at all. But, you know, the rain was earlier on today. It looks in pretty good nick at the moment.
I remember playing with a couple of players who used to put super glue on their hands, and they still couldn't catch the ball, Richie.
With the ball is Corey Laurie. He's been a hard worker today as the 26-year-old from Hornby. He'll play the ball about 5 metres short of the halfway line, but seems to have got a bit staggered in that tackle. Here we come now with Vincent Whare. Quick play the ball. It's sent on by Lima. Lima gets it back to the 6th Ruben, and he sends it downtown. It's a pretty good kick. It's fielded by Patrick Arvan. This man, I've been told, has skills similar to that of a young Nigel Vangana. He turned 18 just a couple of weeks ago. The fullback, and we've yet to see him at his best, but that hit up is a good one for the Lions.
A big no-no from Dwayne Winete, turning his back near the ruck. If you're a coach, you'd be very, very disappointed with that. It's an easy yards. Don't turn your back, turn around and face the attack.
Boys, just from the sideline here, just a quick injury report. Shane Byers has left, pretty much literally leaving the stadium at the moment. He had a bad cut lip in the first half, and it doesn't look as though he's coming back. So for the meantime, Corey Lowry has taken over as captain.
Hey, thanks very much, Tarahi. That's disappointing for the Bulls because, you know, it certainly his experience around the park. He steers his team well. Is it on to Start? Start goes wide. It's on to Harry Aonga. On the step, and he comes back in, puts the ball down. The referee says that'll do. Harry Aonga scores the try. A great run down the right-hand corridor by the Lions. It came out of nothing. The pop ball from Start, and eventually Harry Aonga was there to pick up the ball and flies in for the try. The second try in 5 minutes for the Lions. That takes the scoreline out to 16-12.
Certainly does, Dale. And a la right-hand side again. Buckingham moved the ball there. We can see Buckingham long ball, far long onto Start onto Aonga, and try time in the corner. That's what we've been asking for, and we're seeing a bit of it right now. Great stuff from the Auckland Lions.
We spoke about it, and it's happening. And it all comes from the dummy half. And Steve Buckingham obviously knows exactly that they're short. Passes a good ball to Fa'alogo in the corner for another beautiful try. And the right-hand side we talk about so often.
What's your thinking as a guy's tracking down that right flank there, Richie? I mean, both times we've seen him step and come back inside the fullback. When do you decide to angle for the corner?
At pretty much the last minute. You weigh it up whether you can go to the corner if they cut most of your space out. You decide to do the big left foot because they're running across field. It's very hard for them to stop and take you on the inside.
As you can see, no conversion from Steve Buckingham, so the score remains with just on 21.5 minutes to play here in this round one encounter. 16-12 in favour of the Bulls over Canterbury.
And here we go again. Buckingham sees it short off to Fa'alogo on to Start off to Aonga, and he's in the try line. Steps inside, and what a great try there. Great finish.
Good effort. And who was there again? Sala Fa'alogo.
He has just had a brilliant game tonight.
Certainly has, Fa'alogo, and we highlighted him earlier in our United Videos player profile. So great work, Sala Fa'alogo.
And we know how to pick him. Well done. Here go the Bulls. They line him up.
You just love saying that too, Tawana, don't you? You love it.
Patrick Arvan, here it comes on for Julian O'Neill. Do you think this will give them some more impetus, a little bit more kaha to take that ball forwards even stronger there, Rich?
Definitely. I think with the Auckland Lions at the moment, they're gaining momentum. The tries are coming easy when they're going wide. I think their go forward is a lot stronger now. And there's a good tackle there.
He got absolutely smashed. Wade McDade got hammered in that tackle. Great tackle by the Bulls defence. And they go wide again. Sahara Fa'alogo with the ball. What can he do this time? Is he going to offload? No. He'll just hold the ball for himself, Dale.
Did he pick up these skills, do you think, from Widnes and from Papatoetoe?
Well, I think he was... don't know where it is, but he's bloody good.
Fair enough. Playing the ball 5 metres inside the Bulls' half now. And we're coming down into the last quarter of this match. A little bit of claret too from the eye of Calvin Wright. On it comes to Buckingham. He puts it up high, wide and handsome. It's taken at the back there by Fidel, and the Lions defence are there in numbers, wrapping them up. Patrick Arvan and Solomona, and the ball to be played by the fullback about 20 metres out from the Bulls' line. 14 with it is Scott Hurrell, and he'll play at 25, just makes 4 or 5 metres. Marking up there is Wayne McDade.
He'll pay back time from the hit he had before, but I think Bulls have lost their way. They're missing Shane Byers around the dummy half. He's the captain. He gives a lot of direction, and they seem just a little bit jaded at the moment, the Bulls. Let's see if they can continue on for the next 5 or 10 minutes and get a bit of intensity back in their game.
It's very disappointing to them, and no doubt Phil Prescott and Brent Stewart, the connections for the Bulls, to have lost their inspirational leader. But I guess this has happened to you many times in your career as well, Rich. This is when you really have to step it up. You rely a lot on the guy who directs you around the track. Well, every man gets injured. It'll be interesting to see how the Bulls react.
Well, it's pretty difficult when you've got a player such as Shaney Byers, who was instrumental, who was in a key position. Now, he's a key player, he's their captain. And when you lose your captain, it's pretty hard to keep the momentum going.
Yeah, certainly was, and that's Shane Byers. We also highlighted him in our United Video player profile just after half-time, so hope he gets well. We've just heard he's just might be left the stadium, gone to the hospital. So that's fantastic, mate. Hope he gets better. So Shane, hope things work out for you, buddy.
It's just a few stitches in the mouth. Hopefully much more than that. And
13 on 13. That's what I like to see. 2 forwards going at it. Corey Laurie and Wade McDade, both very good players. And Mount Albert lost the ball again.
Arvan tried to pop the pass. It was played at though. So I would suspect the feed will go the way of the Lions here. We'll wait for Craig
certainly
Pasco's
does look like the referee's given it to the Lions here, Dale, and another attacking option. Let's see if they'll go right and give it out to Start in the centres and let's see what he can do.
Havana, nice little pass there, except there was one in there.
Donovan Aitken put his big mitt out.
Big mitt in there.
Put it down. Okay, Buckingham goes on to Kelvin Wright, turning it to Arvan. Arvan goes out to Miguel Start. Wide it goes to Aonga, but an absolute fundamental error by the Lions. They had the ball, first tackle, put it down. Now, really a sigh of relief will be Phil Prescott and the Canterbury Bulls.
I can see why Patrick Arvan would be throwing the ball to Miguel Start, who's been instrumental in this game, but not a very good pass by the man, and he's had probably an indifferent game tonight. We've heard a lot about him. He hasn't shown it yet.
What more do the Bulls have? We know they've got plenty of talent at this stage. They haven't really been able to put it all together and on display, but a spirit of defence by the Lions is keeping them in check. Still though, just a 4 points in it, so it's anyone's game still as the Bulls come charging back and then get put into reverse gear, I guess you could describe that tackle on Alex Timor. To ground now they go, about 25, 27 metres out from the line.
Yeah, as I highlighted before, Dale, Canterbury lacking to make those yards around the ruck because of the quick play, the balls, the distribution skills of Shane Byers. They're definitely missing them, and they're struggling to get out of their half.
Okay, now Patrick Arvan. We're waiting to see him get a bit of space. He's away from one and looking at two, but dragged to ground in the tackle of Johnny Limmer. Arvan will play it 5 metres short of the halfway line. Out of dummy half goes Solomona, and he's wrestled to ground in a good tackle by Ross Tully, the New Zealand Māori representative in the 3-match test series against the Cook Islands. Back with Julian O'Neill. He trundles forward with the football and will play it just on the 30-metre line. Quick break from dummy half. Nice work there from Lee Weatherall, who gets it back now to Kelvin Wright. Keeps it alive and on to Louis Toimoana. Toimoana with the ball. He's put to ground under the tackle of Omatangi, with assistance there from Vincent Whare. They'll play the ball back. Weatherall keeps it hot. It's on now to out to Buckingham. Buckingham grubbers it through. How much weight is on it? Will it sit up in the end goal? It won't. It will go dead in goal. Restart on the 20-metre line, but more enterprising play there from the Lions.
Right idea, trying to kick. Pity the weight of the ball didn't stick up, probably because of the conditions of the field. Didn't get it quite right there.
Yeah, no, good attacking option by the Lions there on the last tackle, putting the kick through. As you see, Buckingham puts the ball through, just a little bit too much weight on it, and it rolls dead over the try line. Here we see the Bulls coming out of their own half and just lacking their bit of momentum. They've gone off the pace a bit, but let's see if the little men can spark them again. Looking for Ruben and Wenity to do some mahi there.
Corey Laurie's had a strong game. Can't get through this time. Penalty going the Bulls' way, and dragging down, says referee Craig Pascoe, and the penalty against Julian O'Neill.
Yeah, been very impressed with Corey Laurie in the second half here. Dale got through a lot of work, doing some really good defence, and has some good skills in offloading, going through the line and before the line. So we've got, oh, that's a shocking kick from the winger there. That just about hit one of his own players in the back of the head. What the hell going on there? It nearly knocked him out. Oh my God.
I know they don't do too much work on the winger's part, but you don't have to kick a ball in the back of the head. There's ways around it.
Vincent Whare will get up to play the ball. The referee will go with the penalty again. So
let's hope somebody else takes this kick. No, he's tapped it. That's a wise idea.
That's a good run. That's a 15-20 metre gain. And the referees, call a halt to proceedings. He'll call a player out. I think it's to do with a high shot. Let's have a listen to what referee Pascoe has to say.
It's a strong runner there, Johnny Limmer.
Just high. Just giving you a chance to slow your boys down. That's all. Okay.
Right, let's get on with the game.
It's over here.
Just high, he's called it, mate. Have a look at this shot. The winger taps the ball. There he goes. Does a quick one. Fa'alongo turns his back. Doesn't know what's happening. There he comes back. Oh, mate. That was a very high tackle.
It wasn't Fa'alongo either. It was
strong runner there, Johnny Limmer. He's come from Workington, from England. He's been impressive tonight.
Oh, is he English guy, is he?
He's working as well. Look, he's been down Canterbury for a long time.
He's had a season there.
Let's see what Canterbury can do on attack with a set of 6 tackles. Here he goes, Corey Laurie. Very impressive in the second half here. Great skills, Dale.
Corey Laurie's had a big barnstorming match. Don't worry about that. He's tried his guts out today. Johnny Limmer gets hold of the ball from dummy half. Here come the big men on the boil. This time it's Alex Timor. He's to ground about 12 metres out from the line. Options left, right. Which way will they go? They'll go right this time. It's Limmer. Limmer is closed down. Limmer squirts the ball. It's an intercept from Buckingham. And Stevie Buckingham's tackled about 20 metres out from the line. Just over 13 minutes left to play in this match, and still just the one try in it. It is 16-12. Auckland Lions leading the Canterbury Bulls.
Certainly was a lost opportunity, Dale, there for the Canterbury Bulls. They'll be very disappointed with that set of 6. They got to the third tackle and lost the ball. Mount Albert coming out of their own half.
Let's have a look. Tari Maipi, what's the story on the bench? Any movement there?
Yeah, just coming down to the crunch time, 12 minutes. The Mount Albert Lions are about to make their, the Auckland Lions are about to make their 10th change, so they've got a couple more. The Canterbury Bulls have got 4, so expect a hard and fast finish. Should be plenty of petrol left in the tank of both teams.
Okay, thank you, Tara. He has a left foot kick from Kelvin Wright, and coming in to take it is Scott Harrell. He'll try and link up with his fullback, Lee Fidel, but that's Lee who goes into dummy half now. In fact, across from the other side, in fact, it's Lucas Tamakaha with the football. Now it's across to Andrew Almatangi, and he is wrestled in a big tackle there by Fabian Suter, the man mostly responsible. Some assistance from Toi Moana as well. And again, there is Fa'alongo, who would be, I guess, in contention for the POD today. He's played strong. The tackle made there on, it looks to be Vince Whare, and he sends it back there onto Dwayne Wineti. 16-12 is the scoreline here. Auckland over Canterbury as the ball's fed by Lima. They lost their inspirational hooker and captain Shane Byers early into the second half. The Canterbury Bulls have done well to keep going as well as they have without him, as Patrick Arvan is wrapped up in the tackle there of Clinton Fraser from the Hallswell club. Little hot step in here comes in from Solomona. He's flung to ground. Good tackling there from Donovan Aitken, and eventually to ground 20 metres out from their own line, and the Lions trying to get out of their danger zone, and they'll need to do so quickly.
Yeah, a bit of pressure coming on Canterbury. They've upped the tempo in this set of 6. Let's see if they can get a ball in a good attacking set and put some pressure on the on the Auckland Lions. The Lions, looks like the Canterbury Bulls are coming home strong, Richie.
I could fill up my car on petrol if we charged him, Rich, for every time he said Mount Albert Lions. If we charged him $1, bit of a full tank of gas.
I'll tell you what, he wouldn't pay for it either.
There's the kick. Back it comes, and it's taken at the back there by Lucas Tamakahu, who has stepped into the back. Now the Lions move up to make the tackle about 35 metres out from the Bulls line. Well, the Bulls have got the work to do here as we count down to the last 11 minutes of the match. I'm sure they would want to win. They were dejected, and as well they might be too, in the final seconds of Bartercard Cup Final 2005 when the Mount Albert Lions, and I mean that when I say that, come up with the win. But what will happen? Can they come back from this position? They're only one try down and full of running as Corey Laurie looks to link up. That ball's been touched by a Lion, but it's gone to ground. What's the referee say? Knocked on. There was a hand there. I'm not sure that the touchy was as onto it as he might have been. That's why there is some rather derisive comments being made.
Yeah, that was knocked down there. I think the touchy called play on there, Dale, and the ref's got it wrong, but he's given the feed to Canterbury anyway, and the option of another 6 tackles.
As you can see there, the rain's starting to come down now. This could change the whole dimension of the game, if it hasn't already. A lot of drop ball tonight.
On that rain, Richie, don't expect the Canterbury Bulls to tighten up on that. They've got clear instructions from halftime to make sure to let that ball go. According to them, the Lions probably won't be expecting that, so even though it's raining, be looking for some free-flowing football from the Bulls.
Thank you, Tarahi, and we expect to see the ball being used well by this Canterbury Bulls team as they quickly play it back to Lima. Lima's done a good job in dummy half and as a distributor since Byers has left the field. That's him with the football again. He sends it on. Back up on the inside they come. This time it's Dean Hecker from the Linwood Club. He'll tackled and will play it. Centre field.
There, but
Pombo, excuse me. Far side of the field. The little dummy on the far side, and that's Andrew Almatangi.
And Sala Fa'alongo having a really good draw, trying to pull his jersey off him.
After the game, that ball's been put down by the Lions, and we'll have to pack it in. 9 minutes to go here, and it is just the one try, and it's 16-12. And the Auckland Lions leading the Canterbury Bulls. We'll see what happened here. A little error from the scrum base.
Well, the Lions don't have to do too much here. They just need to get the ball down the other end of the field. It's a simple game. If you make mistakes, you'll pay for it.
So the tackle is made here and played back to the number 4 on the move. This is Dave Fissier. He's been a little bit quiet, hasn't had too many opportunities in the second half. Now comes on to Lee Wetherill. This is one man who could carve up the Canterbury Bulls and doesn't have a chance. We were hoping to bring you some updated graphics throughout the course of the match. We've had some technical glitches here. It is our opening match, and that intercept comes on the hands of Dwayne Winity.
Oh.
That looked sore. Winity wrapped up in the tackle there of Steve Buckingham.
Yes, looks like he's pulled a calf or muscle there or hammy.
He's got the cramp.
Oh, Richie's had that a few times with the clamp. The cramp.
With an M.
I've had a cramp. Don't worry about that. Plenty of them. It happens when you're quick.
Mate, he was off the young number 7, Winity. I think it was the halfback. Is that correct?
Where was that sniper? I'm sure I saw him up here.
The poor bloke's in plenty of pain anyway, but the game goes on and they still need to try. Here we get another look at it. The intercept here from young Dwayne Weneti. He's had a pretty good time too, the Papa Nui squad. And here he goes, he's on the boil, really going for it. And getting Snappo, and there he goes down. Back into the action live here. We're 5 metres out from the try line as the Bulls come towards the line. He's there! He gets the ball out from nowhere. Oh, great play. The Canterbury Bulls come up with the 4-pointer that they needed, and just to the right-hand side of the posts. Great effort. We'll get another look at it in just a tick, but it really came out of nowhere. Well, while we were watching what happened on the broken hammy, we get the play there, and it turns out to be Scotty Harrell. That's him with the football stepping. Thought no way through here. And hello, out goes the big mush. Down it goes, and there's the 4 points that they were after. So
yes,
now a very important kick to see if they can take the lead.
Limmer goes out from dummy half. He gets tackled down there. Not held. He stands and offloads the ball onto young Scotty Harrell. He steps inside on the right hand, pushes off Solomona, comes to Arvan, goes high, tries to lock the ball up. Young Harrell burrows in low, elbow over, and ball on the line. It's try time there, Richie.
That is a beautiful try. I blame the defence there not coming up. They're holding back. They thought the guy was tackled, and they had a little bit of a rest, dropping back a couple of steps, thinking he was tackled.
Oh, here he is, young Dean Winity. He just had the cramp, and now he's kicking the goal.
Oh, look at that. Hey, somebody's giving him some Koa juice, and he's back in action.
He's still got a stiff leg there. Have a look at him. Hope he can kick the goal.
Here we go, fellas. This is it. This is an important kick.
Oh my God!
In unison. Well, up and down the country.
Surely they could have had somebody else kick the goal. What's going on there?
I'd be limping too.
Oh, my God.
Have a look at the reaction here from the guys. I can't believe
That's
it.
a given. That is a given.
Even I could have kicked that with my one leg, Richie.
Even with your one leg. He's on your wooden leg.
16-16. What's going to give here? We've got 6 minutes to play.
Hold on to your hats, Dale. I think we're in for a classic finish here.
Look, these two
Monday
teams.
Night League.
Monday Night League. Where is it, Tawada?
Live and exclusive at Albany Stadium, the home of the New Zealand Rugby League.
You've got a T. You've got a T. We've had some fun here this afternoon. It's been a pleasure calling the footy with two former internationals, Tawada Nico and of course Richie Barnett. Here we go with the Bulls. Who's got the goods? That's what I was trying to think of to take this game out today. Well, 16-16, feet on now. Here we go with Corey Laurie. He's been good so far. He's wrapped up centre field in 30. I hope you've been enjoying the action wherever you're watching throughout the Motu here in Aotearoa. As the ball comes back, then sent downtown. Let's play it down there. Paddy Arvan, this is the man we've been waiting to see. Can he wind up? Can he split them? Arvan into the fray. He's wrapped up in the tackles by the Canterbury Bulls. Right on halfway. Out of the blocks goes Solomona. Good run, gains him 10.
Do we see a classic Steve Buckingham drop goal? Are we setting up for a real thriller here, or do we go wide to, he's gone wide to Miguel Start. He's through the line. Oh, he busts him.
Miguel Start once again on the step. Miguel Start, try number 2. What a talent he is. 2 almost absolute replicas, and Bluey McLennan is up. He knows that that's the time to score it. 5 minutes out, and Miguel Start gets the ball off Buckingham and struts his stuff out wide.
Certainly did. There he goes, Miguel Start. He's on fire tonight. Steps inside the fullback. Oh, mate, he's having a blinder. 2 tries, and I think that could be the match winner there, right there, Dale.
It could well be double there. It's underneath the post. Buckingham doesn't miss them from there, but again, a great fend on Clinton Fraser. Miguel Start is a real talented one to watch. I tell you, Bluey McLennan's a fine judge of footballing talents, and these boys are coming through from all around. There are many in the city who want to play under him, and he has great respect among the players, and he's certainly one that is able to bring the best out of young talent.
Yes, but a big mistake there by the Bulls. I think they could have slowed the game up before missing that kick. Really gave the impetus back to the Lions there, Dale. Bluey McLennan looks very, very happy with 2 minutes to run in the match.
Yes.
And I think that's the game that's all over. So, the Bulls had the game there. Here he goes, Miguel Start, steps off the right foot. Back on the inside, scores underneath the post, and there it is there. What a lovely match-winning try.
It's looking good, and let's go down to Tarahi Maipi, who's sideline. You must have seen him take that ball, and he's got plenty of pace off the mark there, Tarahi.
Oh, definitely been seeing that all day, but spare of thought for poor Phil Prescott. Second time in a row. We talk about a replay of last year's final. Almost the exact same thing happened. They had the match in the last minute, and just out of the fell out of their hands. So let's spare poor thought for our poor coach from Canterbury.
Well, he's a man who's had a few disappointments. I remember when the Canterbury Bulls ran one year close to the bottom of the table, but it wasn't long before Prescott had them up and fired up again. He had them training in the gym from November onwards, and they are still and will remain a real strong force in this national championship, the Bartercard Cup. So now the Mount Albert, excuse me, I'll put my $10 into the petrol cap and into the petrol tank as well, T. There's another penalty going the way of the Auckland Lions, and with just on 2.5 minutes left to go, they really have to chance their hand as soon as they get hold of the ball. Buckingham will kick towards the southern touchline here at North Harbour Stadium, which will be our home for our Monday night football for the first 4 or 5 weeks. We'll have an opportunity to introduce you to the teams from around the country. We've scheduled matches with the Jets. I'll tell you about it at the conclusion of this game who our matches for next week and beyond. But we're hoping to give all of the teams from around the country an opportunity to play live on television for free to air for the first time in many a year in New Zealand. Here we have the Lions. Calvin Wright deserves much credit for what he's been able to achieve as we go again with Miguel Start. Surely it is a triple for Miguel Start. Referee Pascoe has a look at his touch judges. He says, "You'll do me." And that's the 3rd try to the young centre from the Pakuranga club. And what a magnificent effort from him. He certainly got a hot step and great reward. He hung on in there, ran the lines well, and picks up try number 3, T.
Certainly did very, very well there, Dale. And here you can be seeing live and exclusive on Māori television. Miguel Start, is he the star of the future? 3 tries in the Bartercard. What a fantastic effort. Good hands. I think Canterbury don't know anything about tackling the big guy. He's just got a big fend on him. Carries 3 of them over the line, mate. And I think we are actually seeing one of the stars of the future. And that's right, you saw him live and exclusive on Māori television, the home of New Zealand Rugby League.
I've got it, Tawana. You're hitting it home with me right now. I'm feeling you, brother. I'm feeling you. Live on Māori television. Well, Miguel Start, he's had 3 tries. He's certainly got a good step. And we're looking to Buckingham to add the extras. The mighty Lions roar once again, but there is a long, long season ahead. The flags are up and the celebrations will roll on with the Central Auckland clubs associated with the franchise. 35 seconds or so until the full-time hooter goes, and a satisfied Kiwi and Auckland Lions coach there in Bluey McLennan. Well done.
Yes, certainly is, and what a start for Start and the Auckland Lions. Fantastic hat-trick in the second half. And Start was absolutely fantastic and coming away with that, and awesome to see Monday Night League on Māori television.
Thanks very much, T. Yeah, I think he'd be keen to pay tribute to his inside backs who worked in the ball a few times there. Certainly Buckingham. Calvin Wright's played strong. Sala Fa'alongo would have to come close to POD, but with 3 tries, I guess it'll be hard not to acknowledge the effort of our outside man, Miguel Start. part of our plan here as the full-time hooter goes, and it is a win for the Lions over the Bulls by 28-16. Part of our role here at Māori Television is to introduce you to new personalities in the domestic code of rugby league. We hope that you've seen one. There he is on frame, centre of the picture, Miguel Start. Keep his name high on your list of players to watch out for in Bartercard Cup competition. Keep Patrick Arvan in that list as well. Make sure you remember Shane Byers when you're watching the Canterbury Bulls, and keep an eye out also for a couple of these good players who've come out of there. Corey Laurie, the back rower for the Canterbury Bulls, worked hard as today. They'll be very disappointed, but hey, it's round one. It's a 22-round competition and the play down to finals, so they've got plenty of opportunities to come back.
Certainly are, Dale. Don't you worry about the Canterbury Bulls. When it comes finals time, they'll be there or thereabouts. Phil Prescott, very good coach and someone that's going to be around for a long time. Obviously, Bluey McLennan very happy with the start, but as you said, Sala Fa'alongo, fantastic game. Wade McDade, another strong player for the Auckland Lions, but the star for me tonight, Miguel Start on fire.
So the score after 80 minutes of football here in round one of the Bartercard from North Harbour Stadium, it is the Auckland Lions who knocked over the Canterbury Bulls. Scoreline 28-16. Don't go away. We're coming back to talk to both captains and do the final after-match wrap-up here on Māori Television. We'll be back in a moment.
Monday nights when we liven up. Yeah. Monday nights when we liven up. Yeah.
Well, welcome back to Ericsson Stadium as we wrap up the first broadcast match on Māori Television. History in the making. I hope you've enjoyed the contest between the Bulls and the Auckland Lions. In the end, 3 tries to the outside centre. Miguel Start for the Auckland Lions was the difference as they come away to 28-16 victory. Steve Buckingham, the Auckland Lions captain, is sidelined with Te Arahi Maipi and Richie Barnett.
Well, right here we've got Steve Buckingham, the Lions captain, the winning captain. Mate, a bit of a shaky start.
Yeah, mate, we were a bit rusty tonight, but you know, it's good to get those first game out of the way, and you know, we've got plenty to work on obviously from that.
Was it the conditions that caused the mistakes out there today?
Not really. I think conditions were all right. It's a little bit slippery underfoot, but you know, in the end I think some of our boys made some bad decisions, and that cost us in the end.
Sala Fa'alogo was outstanding on the right side. It didn't quite get out there as much as you'd want to, but he was outstanding.
Yeah, no, Sala's all class, and you know, he's been playing in England last year, and he's brought his experience back to us, so that's going to benefit our team a lot.
And this competition's going to be quite an interesting competition. I mean, you beat the last year's Canterbury side again. Looking forward to the season ahead of you.
Yeah, definitely, mate. It's a new challenge. We're not going to defend our title. We're going to go out and win it again. And you know, we'll go week by week and see how we go.
All the best, Steve, and for the rest of the year as well, sir.
All right. Cheers, mate. Thanks.
Okay, well, let's have a look now at the try-scoring action from our first match, live to air on Māori Television. It started off in the first half, which really was just a 1 try each, 6-all after 40 minutes.
Yeah, certainly was. Vince Whare, Corey Laurie, who had a very strong game, offloads to young Ruben. He scores underneath the post there. Similar to the Lions, old Calvin Wright scoots through the defence in the first half. Very, very tight. 6-all at the half-time break there.
Calvin Wright was good. We get another look up the middle here, and this is a surging run. Laurie gets the ball back onto Johnny Lemmer, and Lemmer scores 5 to the right-hand side of the post. Big effort.
Yeah, now some great work interchanging the passes. Laurie, great offload on the way to Lemmer there. He ducks under and scores right there.
Now, this is the man we want to keep an eye out for. His name is Miguel Start. He goes 3 times for tries in the second half. This is the first of them.
Certainly big fin to the number 2 off there. He sprints down the sideline. Big stutter step. Another big fin. Get rid of Corey Laurie there, who's defended really well. Try number 1 for Miguel Start.
We'll get another look at him. He's a man to watch out for. All determination. Great step. And a winning smile.
Certainly has got a bit of class in the second try. We see here down the sideline, Harry Aonga scores on the try line. We've been calling it all night, Dale. Buckingham gets the ball wide again.
This is Aonga's try once again, and obviously the centre and the right wing. Great steps. Here he goes. Ping inside. Dodge it down.
And there we go. We're back inside number 14, Stewie Harrell, he scores. Ties the game up here.
Yeah, there was not much going on here, and the kid did the whole bit himself. I thought he was close down there, but his try, well deserved. And here we go again with Miguel Start another step. Full of class, he's enjoying himself out there.
It certainly is. The big, don't argue, big left hand paw comes out just like the big bear. Get out of my way. And he scores underneath the post, Dale.
And he finishes it up with try number 3. Here he comes. Miguel Start. One to watch in 2006, live here on Māori television, the home of New Zealand Rugby
Certainly,
League.
don't be surprised if you see him running around the NRL in the next couple of years, Dale.
Yeah, well, he sounds good. He's one to watch, certainly. Let's go sideline, find out from the Canterbury perspective how they read that first round of Bartercard Cup action. Here's Richie Barnett.
Well, I'm here with Corey Laurie. Corey, not the best of starts, but marred by a lot of mistakes out there.
Yeah, there's mistakes on both teams. Unfortunately, we made the most in the second half, which ended up determining the final result, I think.
Shane Byers went out with injury, made a big difference when he came off.
Yeah, he's pretty much a heart and soul of our middle. As soon as we lost him, we started getting a bit loose around the rucks and started getting the dummy half runners. Just got us on the back foot from there.
Yeah, you were quite congested in about the 60 minute. You were quite congested. Nothing went out wide at all, and that was all down to him, do you think?
Bit of fatigue, I think, too. Lost a few balls and a bit of communication, especially around our markers. A lot of time there's no indication. They were just pretty much getting stuck in the same side, and that's where they got their roll-ons in the end. That's when they ended up bringing us in, then they had us out wide.
And what was the game plan from Philip Prescott?
It's pretty much just ball security, really. It's especially at the start of the season. Just try to keep our width and complete our sets, and then let things come off that.
Well, Corey, I wish you all the best for the season, and one that got away, I'd say.
Yeah, another one that got away, all right.
Cheers, mate.
Nice sort of bloke there. Corey Laurie, looking forward to enjoying his football. Well, this is the star of the show. 3 tries for Miguel's Start, and we've enjoyed watching him, certainly in the second half. I hope you have as well. That's one of his 3. Not often you score a hat-trick in the first televised game for free-to-air TV for a long, long time. He'd be feeling pretty good.
Certainly was. You know, he did a fantastic start there for Start and a fantastic start for the Auckland Lions, Dale. So,
Miguel Start talking sideline with Richie Barnett.
Well, I'm here down with Miguel Start, the player of the match. 3 tries, mate. What an awesome performance.
Yeah, it was a pretty good game. It was pretty hard contact. Yeah, just been treated hard.
Well, obviously it was a lot easier from looking at it, mate. You just made things a lot easier. With your left fend, it was outstanding. Come on, wrap yourself up, mate. Wrap yourself up.
No, I don't even know how to talk on TV, man.
So tell us, I mean, where are you from, and this is your first year with the Lions?
I was originally from Pekaringa, first year. Yeah, it's been pretty friendly from the boys and the coaching staff.
And that's what it's all about. I mean, trying to fit into for a new team, and obviously you've done that quite easy. We wish you all the best, and I'm sure we'll see a lot of you. All the best for the rest of the season, Miguel.
Thank you.
Yeah, a shy and humble guy, but you know, it's not every day that you're interviewed on television. He just took the ball and ran it in, and congratulations to him. Miguel Start, the player of the day in the very first Māori television broadcast of the Bartercard Cup. I hope you've enjoyed the action. I certainly have, working with Tawara and also Richie Barnett, but we'll leave it for our friend Duddy Maipi sideline to wrap it up, and we'll catch up with you with our next Monday Night League next week.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, fantastic first game up, history-making event on Māori television with the Bartercard Cup. Lions up again against the Canterbury Bulls, but don't worry about it. I mean, we've got 25 more weeks of this action coming your way. Nō reira kia koutou katoa e mātakitaki mai nā i roto i o koutou kāinga maha pō Māori noho ora mai.
It's gonna be a Monday night when we live it up. Yeah. It's gonna be a hell of a sight when they're lining up, Tuesday got me singing the blues. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, got me healing up. It's gonna be a Monday night when we liven up. It's gonna be a hell of a sight when they're lining up. Yeah. It's gonna be a Monday night when we liven up. It's gonna be a hell of a sight when they're lining up. Tuesday got me singing the blues. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, got me healing up. It's gonna be a Monday night when we liven up. It's gonna be a hell of a sight when they're lining up.
League versus Counties Manukau next Monday at 8 on Māori Television.